tried to silence him. They erased his name. But he rebuilt from nothing. He fought every algorithm. They tried again and failed. Now he's back, stronger. From blackout to spotlight, he's at the White House, at the top of his game. Franchi lives.
You are about to enter another dimension, the dimension of truth, unfiltered and uncensored. Welcome to the Raw Feed with Gary Franchi.
Welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, coming to you live from the heart of America. Unfiltered truth to millions on YouTube. Hit those donation links below. Every contribution powers our gear. Every contribution keeps the party going. Help me help you. Hit those donation links. YouTube channel memberships. Special acknowledgement in the fellowship. Your super chats keep me standing. Your Rumble rants fuel every round.
Say hello to super chats.
Spread the intel. Every repost extends our reach.
Super chats fuel this spectacle. Your Rumble rants give me strength.
24/7 members-only community, behind-the-scenes discussions.
Connect with fellow patriots.
My mama always said, life is like sharing the truth. Text this stream to your friends.
What if I told you the app is real? Download the Next News Network app. Android users, take the Google Play path. iPhone users, App Store awaits.
Washington's power brokers are discovering that choreographed crises have a funny way of unraveling when people start asking basic questions about timing and family connections. I'm Gary Franchi. This is the Raw Feed, where we cut through the manufactured outrage to expose what's really driving the headlines that you're not supposed to question. January 28th carries particular weight in American political history. On this date, in 1967, the Apollo 1 tragedy claimed 3 astronauts during a routine ground test. forever changing NASA's approach to transparency and accountability. The investigation that followed revealed systemic failures hidden beneath layers of bureaucratic assurances, a reminder that official narratives often crumble under genuine scrutiny. That same spirit of investigation proves essential as we examine today's most pressing stories, each revealing the calculated machinery that's operating behind supposedly spontaneous events. Tonight, we start with an incident in Minnesota that has political observers scratching their heads. When timing becomes suspiciously convenient and family backgrounds don't match the narrative being pushed, Americans deserve answers about what they're actually witnessing. The details emerging about this so-called attack raise fundamental questions about authenticity versus theater, especially when federal investigations into personal wealth suddenly coincide with dramatic public sympathy campaigns. From there, we examine President Trump's latest economic initiative, rolled out with celebrity endorsement at a White House ceremony that showcased real American families. The Trump Accounts program promises direct investment in children's futures, but the presentation strategy tells us something important about how this administration plans to sell the ambitious domestic policies. When farming families from Virginia become the face of financial reform, you're watching political messaging calibrated for maximum cultural impact. Speaking of calculated messaging, our third story exposes the sophisticated funding networks driving supposedly grassroots resistance movements in Minneapolis. What appears as organic anti-ICE protest itself reveals itself as something far more organized when you follow the money trail. So tonight we're going to connect the dots between billionaire benefactors operating from overseas, radical domestic organizations with innocent-sounding names, and street-level violence that serves strategic political purposes. The coordination would be impressive if it weren't so dangerous. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve continues its institutional rebellion against the Trump administration's economic agenda, using interest rate decisions as political weapons disguised as monetary policy. Jerome Powell's latest defiance demonstrates how entrenched bureaucracies protect their authority even when their decisions directly contradict the democratically expressed will of American voters. The housing market becomes collateral damage in this power struggle between elected leadership and unaccountable technocrats. And finally, we head to Iowa, where President Trump delivered a master class in political communication, simultaneously celebrating economic victories and exposing media bias with surgical precision. His handling of hostile reporters while highlighting federal workforce reductions reveals a president operating at peak effectiveness, turning every encounter into an opportunity to advance his agenda. The contrast between private sector job creation and government bloat could not be clearer. These stories share common threads that establishment media work overtime to obscure, whether it's staged incidents designed to generate sympathy, celebrity-endorsed policy rollouts targeting specific demographics, foreign-funded domestic agitation, bureaucratic resistance to Democrat mandates, or strategic political communication that bypasses traditional gatekeepers. Each represents a different battlefield in the ongoing war for control of America's institutions. The old rules assumed that shared commitment to honest disclosure and transparent governance, those assumptions no longer hold when billion-dollar influence operations masquerade as concerned citizens, when federal agencies openly defy presidential directives, and when political theater gets packaged as breaking news. Tonight's Raw Feed strips away those deceptions, following evidence wherever it leads. Rather than accepting convenient explanations that serve powerful interests, we examine who benefits when certain narratives gain traction, whose authority gets protected when specific policies face resistance, and what strategic objectives drive apparently unconnected events. The truth remains accessible to anyone willing to ask uncomfortable questions about comfortable assumptions, official denials, expert assurances, and media consensus. It all means nothing when documented evidence points in opposite directions. So stay with us as we investigate what really happened in Minneapolis, why celebrities now announce economic policy, and who's funding the anti-American violence, and how bureaucrats sabotage democratic governance, and what Trump's Iowa performance reveals about his evolving political strategy. This is the Raw Feed, where authentic journalism survives in an age of manufactured truth. Let's welcome you to the show. Who's here today? Let's see. We got Mrs. Spothead, Kenny and Karen and Kim Weig, Rosanna, Roger Thacker. Carolyn is here as well. Good to see everybody. And who else is here? Let's check out the latest. We got Pothead Kenny. What's up? Bill's Rules. Dave Wallenberg. Hot Rod Mike in the house. Susie Pohl over on Rumble. What's up, Rumble? And if you're watching on X, go ahead and hit that share button right away and post it to your followers. And
Wrong.
No, that's what they need to do. That
Wrong.
No, that's Mr. President. Please. Smash the like button. It might be Grumpy from earlier. Haha, yes, this is a double header tonight. This is a double header. Oh, yeah. Okay, enough of that. That's just too much laughter. Too much laughter, okay? Okay. All right.
How dare you?
Okay, Greta.
How dare you?
All right. Oh, we got our first super chat, looks like, of the evening from Chris Orr. Let's see. Thank you, Chris. Protect our troops, ICE, Police, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, Marines. Right on. All right, we're going to pull up our super chat panel. Oh, we got James Fay in the house, too, with a $5 super chat as well. Nice. Thank you, James, as well. Hot Rod Mike dropping $4.99 as well. Thank you, Hot Rod Mike. All right. Let's have some fun tonight, shall we? Let's see, which one button is that?
How dare you?
Oh, yes. Greta, shut up.
How dare you?
No. I'm just having fun with these new buttons, okay?
What are you looking at, butthead?
Wait, here.
What are you looking at, butthead?
How dare you?
What are you looking at, butthead?
Great Scott!
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
No.
Get out.
No, I've got a show to do, Mr. President. Okay, enough of the games. Let's get at it. We got news to cover and no time to waste any longer. Okay, I'm ready to rock and roll, Brian. Ilhan Omar gets sprayed with a harmless substance at a Minnesota town hall, and the internet is calling bullshit. The timing, suspicious as hell. Just days after her finances get exposed, showing she went from $42 to $25 million in a year. Suddenly, she's the victim of a convenient attack, caught perfectly on camera from multiple angles. Even Trump is calling it staged. Now, this is not just about a congresswoman's credibility. It's about how deep the swamp will go to distract from corruption and investigation. If Omar staged this attack, she's weaponizing victimhood to deflect from legitimate financial scrutiny that could expose massive fraud. Your tax dollars potentially funded her rise from broke to millionaire while she played the system. But here is what really matters. If they can manufacture sympathy through fake attacks, what other crises are they engineering? The House Oversight Committee is investigating and looking into her skyrocketing wealth. So right now, this attack conveniently shifts the narrative from predator to victim, from corruption to sympathy. And now, speaking of things that don't add up, let me tell you about a sector where the numbers actually make perfect sense right now. So this is some breaking news. On January 5th, 2026, the U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. Now, this is not just government spending. It's a declaration of intent. America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it now. The U.S. consumes 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces virtually none domestically. We're importing from Russia, Kazakhstan, and other hostile nations while politicians stage distractions. Smart investors are positioning in the uranium sector through companies like Atomic Minerals. Now, unlike manufactured political theater uranium, demand, it's real, it's measurable, and it's critical to national security. Nuclear energy powers 20% of America's grid, and that percentage is growing rapidly. Supply deficit is not going away. It's actually getting worse. Every data center, every AI advancement, every push towards clean energy increases uranium demand. This is not speculation. So unlike Omar's financial records, uranium's value proposition is transparent and verifiable. And you need to check out the briefing in the description. And we thank Atomic Metals for supporting this show. Now, here's where it gets really sketchy. The attacker has two leftist daughters who were perfectly positioned. And Omar didn't look surprised. When it happened, social media is dissecting every frame of footage, and the inconsistencies are piling up. The guy's social media shows progressive connections. This has all the hallmarks of a Jussie Smollett operation down to the convenient timing and perfect camera angles. So here it is. Yes, she studied under Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Now, we'll watch the video and let you decide.
Nome must resign or face impeachment. I don't know. Resign or face. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, notice the reaction immediately, right? Omar, she gets sprayed with a substance. What if it's some like deadly poison, right? No reaction, just kind of stands there. Like her security detail didn't rush her away. She kind of stood there. I don't know what I was sprayed with. Blah, 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 blah. And then you got the weirdo and like just kind of like fumbling around like rah, 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 like just watch again.
Impeachment.
I mean, is that really like, come on. Oh yeah. Oh, that's staged. Totally staged. She just goes back. I don't know. I'm just a victim. I'm just a victim. I'm just a victim here. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm just, see, he's holding like a syringe. Like, and her security detail doesn't even go and rush her out, try to get her to an emergency room. Just kind of standing there, hanging out. Dude, that is so sus right there. Okay, so this Jussie Smollett reference sets up the staged incident theory that is exploding across social media. Oh, look at this. Eric Darty, wow, big evil MAGA man who sprayed Ilhan Omar turns out to have far-left gender-questionable kids. Imagine that. Oh boy, the social media references are clear. Huh. Man, they could have at least picked somebody with like some, like maybe MAGA connections somehow. I don't know. I mean, really, you're not gonna go ahead and like tell this guy to clean his social media before you pull this? Oh, this is a joke. Oh, man. It's a blunt accusation. It's only the beginning. Wait till you hear which Republican senator is now demanding jail time. Here we have Republican Senator Tuberville. The attack on Omar was fake. Yep, of course it was. Let's watch.
The president said that he thinks that Ilhan Omar getting sprayed last night was fake. He says, I wouldn't doubt it. She's a fraud. I wouldn't doubt it if she went ahead and if she sprayed herself, he said. What's your take on this? I'm sure you've seen some of it on the internet this morning.
Oh, well, this person sat on the front seat on the front row, right in front of Omar, and then took off running to the right. I mean, if you're going to have somebody that's going to go after somebody, they're not going to run away from them. And that you could tell that was pretty much all staged. Now, again, I'm just saying that because, you look at you look at what the Democrats have done and how they act and the things that they say that they're supposedly for our country. And then, of course, she is under big time investigation. She's trying to get the heat off of her. At the end of the day, this is the Democrats, playing games, and Ilhan Omar needs to be in jail. And as you said, she's as guilty as they come, third world country and worth $30 million. Hey, this is a great country, and they shouldn't be trying to change it like they are if somebody like her can make $30 million.
Yep, that's exactly what's going on. Tuberville's explosive claims are getting attention, but the evidence supporters are pointing to gets even more specific. Brandon Tatum dropping some evidence, staged or real. Ilhan Omar was attacked at a Minnesota town hall. Some critics are calling this attack staged as a distraction from the Trump administration investing her finances and sudden jump into wealth. What's your read? Coincidence or calculated? I think it is definitely calculated. The timing raises some questions directly to Trump's own response about Omar staging the whole thing. President Trump says the Somali rep, the representative from the state of Somalia, Ilhan Omar, likely staged her being sprayed by a man during the event. He says, I don't think about her. I think she's a fraud. I don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed knowing her. Yes, thank you, President Trump, for your reaction. Well, his fraud allegations tie perfectly into claims that even the media was complicit in the setup. Oh, believe me, the liberal press was in on it too. Okay, so check this out. American Papa Bear, cat turd, quote tweeting. The camera was fixated on this guy right before Ilhan Omar takes the podium. Totally not staged. Okay, so the camera clearly pointing in the direction of the guy. Now, the media conspiracy angle leads us to the financial timeline that has everyone talking cover-up. As you know, and we've been covering it here, 6 days ago, new disclosures show Ilhan Omar went from $42 in her bank account to $25 million in a year. A day ago, Ilhan's wine business is exposed as fake, making $5 million. Today, Ilhan Omar gets attacked on camera. They think we're idiots. It's Jussie Smollett 2.0. Let's see what Jesse Waters has to say.
Investigation after racking up millions while she was in Congress. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has it. What's up, Kevin?
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion, some would argue $19 billion, Somali social services fraud scandal that exploded in her district in Minnesota. The oversight chair, James Comer, says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his curious business practices. Republicans want to know how the Somali-born Omar and her politically connected husband, Tim Minette, went from being nearly broke to being worth around $30 million in just a year, according to her 2024 disclosure forms. Quoting Comer now, there are a lot of questions as to how her husband accumulated so much wealth over the past 2 years. It's not possible. It's not. And he's a money guy. Minette and his partner, Will Haler, back in 2022, formed an investment firm, Jesse, named Rose Lake Capital. They had $42 in their bank account at the time, but in a year, up to $25 million, according to Omar's filing. By the way, he also has a wine business that went from next to nothing to millions on its books. Not surprisingly, associates were so perplexed about the irregularities, they brought information and attention to the feds to, look into it. Now, for her part, the Congresswoman has repeatedly, and I say defiantly, denied any wrongdoing while being also careful to criticize the ongoing probe. But, sometimes they say, Jesse, the ones who yell the loudest have the most to hide.
Well, innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure everything.
Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. These financial discrepancies and timing issues bring us to the actual video evidence that's now raising the red flags. Representative Ilhan Omar attacked on camera and did what? Is she trying to fight the guy? Is sprayed with something but doesn't care, shakes it off? What do you see? And that's exactly my observation. Immediately, she just kind of shakes it off. She wasn't brushed away. In my opinion, again, I think that this whole thing was pre-planned. She knew there was nothing. It was an inert It was probably water or saline or whatever, right? Let's see what this guy's going to say.
Did you see it? It's amazing. We've got all sorts of angles we're going to show you. Ilhan Omar says she was assaulted. In fact, she didn't say it. We see it on this video. She's giving a town hall meeting, and right when she talks about getting rid of Kristi Noem, this happens.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
What's going on? What? Cursing, there's mayhem. Wow. Here's a better angle, a wider angle. You'll see the guy in the front row. He's sitting there with a black jacket on as she's talking about getting rid of Kristi Noem. He stands up, yells something. She says he sprayed her with something. But instead of running away or letting security take over, she runs after the guy and balls up her fist. Is that how you would react?
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Here he goes. Sprays her. Look at her. Balls up her fist. She's gonna fight the guy. Doesn't seem concerned about what she was sprayed with. People are yelling, you gotta stop it. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep on going.
I need a napkin to know.
No, she needs a napkin to wipe up whatever it happens to be.
No, we will continue. No. Ilhan, you need to go and check. No, we will continue. These fucking assholes are not gonna get away.
They did catch the guy that she was gonna punch, I guess, and we don't know what this substance was that she was sprayed with. But we do know this. He was charged with third-degree assault? That's not going to fly. Good news for Ilhan Omar. This is a federal offense if you attack a member of Congress, so the FBI and the Trump administration, and maybe even the DHS, the DOJ certainly, will be investigating this. It's 18 U.S.C. 351E. Oh, yeah. So she probably will have to go and now testify with the feds that this guy should be facing federal charges. What do you think about this? You just watched two angles. Would you have reacted the same way? Come on.
Oh, she's screwed. The FBI is going to look into it. So you can add another crime to her roster. Video analysis is compelling, but wait until you hear about the attacker's family connections that have everyone questioning. Anthony Kazmierczak. Here it is. Let's see. Bring it up here on the screen. The man who sprayed the harmless substance on Ilhan Omar has two leftist daughters. Something is not adding up. Do you believe this was staged? So if you really wanted to do something, if you really wanted to attack Ilhan Omar, and you wanted to really cause harm, why would you spray a harmless substance? I mean, that alone, like, is it just a scare, or is it like when people mail white powder to somebody, but the powder is really nothing? Is that the intent here? I don't know. I mean, this picture, I think, says all you need to know. But Trump said it best. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. The evidence is mounting that this entire incident was orchestrated to generate sympathy and distract from the financial investigation. It could expose years of corruption. The timing, of course, not coincidental. It's calculated. Omar needed a victim narrative, and she manufactured one. So the pattern is unmistakable. Politician gets exposed for corruption. Politician becomes victim of convenient attack. Media shifts focus to sympathy instead of accountability. Jussie Smollett to this Omar incident. The playbook never changes. They think we're too stupid to connect the dots between her financial exposure and this perfectly timed attack. The House investigation continues, but now she gets to play victim instead of defendant. Her transformation from broke activist to multi-millionaire congresswoman deserves some scrutiny, not sympathy theater. The American people deserve answers about where that money came from, not manufactured distractions. Simple question. Do you believe Omar's attack was real or staged? Check out the Next News merch shop for gear that won't gaslight you. All right. There we go. Oh, man. Almost made it out of that segment. Almost made it out. Okay. All right. So, Brian, did you see the picture I sent you? Okay. Yeah. So it's working. Now I'm still waiting to see. Okay, okay, it's shifted to the between timer, and we can look at it later to see what the difference in the timing is. But my timer is backwards in the teleprompter. That's funny. All right. We can fix that later. So I'm looking at backwards numbers. Anyway, let me check with Grant and see if what he sees in this. Your teleprompter screen during the show. Instructions to refer to the overlay box shows a timer and it's mirrored upside down because it's reflecting off the prompter glass. Okay. Yeah, we need to fix that. Propose a solution we need the timer mirrored and smaller. Yeah, it's way too big. You can see how it's like almost halfway up my screen. Oh, just lower it down? Yeah. Okay. No, I don't. I know it needs to be lower because it's blocking what I'm supposed to say. No. Yeah, it's like it's floating in the corner, and that's not where it's supposed to be. Okay, I want to talk about these Trump accounts. What do you got here? Joseph, what is he saying? Stage worse than Fox News. All right, moving right along. Let's get into our next topic, Brian. Trump just announced a program that will literally give money to every child in America. It's called Trump Accounts, and major corporations are already signing up to fund it. But here's what nobody's talking about: the timing of the announcement and who was standing right next to him when he made it. Now, this is not just about your money or kids. This is about creating a generation of Americans who grow up thinking the government should manage their investments. Think about it. Every child in America will have their financial future tied to the stock market from birth. What happens when those accounts lose value? Who gets blamed? And what happens to parents who don't want their kids in this system? The social pressure alone will be enormous. Politically, it's genius. Trump is literally buying the next generation's loyalty with their own future earnings. By the time these kids can vote, they'll have been conditioned to see government-managed investment accounts as normal. Now, this fundamentally changes the relationship between citizen and state. Now, I personally like it, but I do need to talk to you about some strategic investments in America's future. Here's something that should terrify every single parent. Some breaking news that January 5th of this year, the U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. Now, it's not just government spending. It's a declaration of intent. See, America needs uranium. It needs domestic uranium, and it needs it right now. Did you know the U.S. consumes over 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces less than 5% domestically? We're completely dependent on foreign sources, including countries that don't exactly love us. Well, politicians promise your kids investment accounts, smart money is moving into the resources that actually power our civilization. Nuclear energy is not just the future, it is the present reality keeping our lights on. and atomic minerals is positioned at the center of this uranium renaissance with projects specifically designed to rebuild America's energy independence. When the grid fails, when foreign suppliers cut us off, uranium becomes more valuable than any government promise. That is the kind of real security parents should be thinking about. A politician promise digital dollars. Check out the full briefing linked below, and we thank them for supporting this program. But back to the Trump accounts. Did you notice Michael Dell's specific language? He said essentially every child in America. Not every child, essentially every child. That word choice matters. It suggests this won't be truly universal, so who gets left out? And Nicki Minaj being there is not random. She has massive influence with young parents, especially in communities Trump traditionally struggles with. Now, here is Nicki Minaj making her big announcement at the opening.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, you know, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him.
Amen. Amen, amen. Amen. Should I go? All right. So the bombshell opening sets up star power. Now watch Trump work the room with his signature humor. President Trump made Queen of Rap Nicki Minaj laugh out loud. Let's listen.
Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of
cash. A lot of cash. The chemistry is clear, but the celebrity endorsement is only the warm-up for the real policy bombshell that comes next. And here she is from another angle, I guess. It's a better angle, personally.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan.
So her enthusiasm is infectious, but the president's about to drop the financial details that change everything. Here is the president speaking about the Trump accounts.
To celebrate a thrilling new milestone for America, the first generation of Trump account children. Trump account children. For the first time ever, we're going to give every newborn American child a financial stake in the future, head start at life, and a fair shot at the American dream, something people don't talk about so much, at least not for the last 4 years they haven't been, but now they're talking about it big. This last period of time, it's been unbelievable. When you see what's going on with our economy, the tremendous investments that's been made in our country. We have over $18 trillion coming in. The most, I think, was 3. That was 10 years ago, another country, not even our country. We have $18 trillion, and we have thousands of businesses being built all over the country, and hundreds of massive plants, so big, car plants, AI plants.
This is only the beginning. The first generation now being born. Here's the headline promise. Now brace for the staggering dollar amounts Trump is putting behind the vision. Holy cow. $3 to $4 trillion of wealth.
Going to put $3 to $4 trillion of wealth into the hands of young Americans who otherwise would have really started out with nothing. It's really an amazing thing because it gives young children that start out with really nothing, and it gives them, boy, it's more money than anybody could imagine. From their standpoint, they'll have a real start in life, and that's why decades from now, I believe the Trump accounts will be remembered as one of the most transformative policy innovations of all time. And I've done a lot of them. The tax cuts, we've done a lot of them, more than I think anybody. And I think this is going to be one of the most outstanding.
I think I'm going to go have a baby. I'm going to make a baby. Angie, get ready. we're going to get some Trump account money coming in. $3 to $4 trillion. That's not a typo, and Trump's just getting started on why this matters. Here's more on the president's Trump accounts from earlier today.
Every president in modern history has left our children with nothing but debt. But under this administration, we're going to leave every child with real assets and a shot at financial freedom. We'll ensure that Americans don't just end their lives with a nest egg, but instead all Americans will begin their lives with a beautiful nest egg.
A beautiful nest egg. When you begin your life, the generational wealth angle is powerful. Watch how Trump frames this against every other president. Check this out.
Perhaps no provision of the great big beautiful bill will prove more consequential than Trump accounts. Under this program, the U.S. government will automatically create a tax-free investment account for every newborn American child, something that nobody really would have even thought of. There were some brilliant people that thought of it for a long time. They're here with us today. We're going to introduce a couple of them. But nobody really, I mean, I've had friends at the top people in business. They came up to me, whose idea was this? This is great. They said, I never thought of that. We'll fund those personal accounts with a seed contribution of $1,000, which will compound and grow over the course of their lives and could grow into very, very substantial numbers. Parents, employers, churches, states, and loved ones will also be able to add up to $5,000 in additional money for those accounts. And with every modest contribution, Trump accounts should reach at least $50,000 in value by the time the child turns 18, and could be very substantially more than that. With slightly greater contributions, the typical account will grow to $100,000, $200,000, and can even grow up to past $300,000 per child. And we think most likely, the most likely case is in the $200,000, $300,000 range. The size and scale of this wealth will dwarf all government programs ever created to benefit America's youth. There's never been anything like this. That's why everybody's talking about it.
I think it's awesome. I'm glad he's doing it. The policy pitch is massive, but this incomplete tweet hints at bigger numbers even coming. President Trump says there's a certain person that's here, the greatest and most successful female rapper. She's stepping up, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children of her incredible fans. Wow.
She went crazy when she heard that this was happening. I want to go. You know, she happens to be in the wrong state right now for that. But when she heard that there's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And, you know, and Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of money, and she's generously stepping up. She's investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children and really the children of her incredible fans. That's great. Focus on that. Why should you give to somebody else's fans? Give to your fans. I like that. But and I just think she's great. You know, I've been hearing so much over the years, because I didn't know Nicki, and I've been hearing over the years she's a big Trump supporter and a Trump fan, and she took a little heat on occasion. Her community isn't necessarily, I tell you, we did pretty damn well with that, with your community, as we say. But Nicki has been an unbelievable supporter. She gets almost as much as Mr. Wonderful over here. He's been another one that's been so good. But
Mr. Wonderful there, too. From policy to celebrity partnership, Trump's about to reveal how Minaj is putting her money where her mouth is. Excuse me. There's a certain person that's here. Minaj doubles down. Well, here's Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, on the Trump accounts.
On behalf of all the entrepreneurs in America, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, because we create 72% of the jobs. Companies 5 to 500 employees, and all we care about is policy. We love policy, pro-business policy, and these accounts are fantastic for independence and support. I thank you very much. It's all about the entrepreneur, and I think you know that, sir.
All about the entrepreneur. Love it. O'Leary brings the entrepreneur credibility, but the real validation comes from the corporate giants signing up. Here's what President Trump had to say.
Trump accounts officially launch on July 4th of this year. Every parent will be able to activate their accounts and access the funds at the trumpaccounts.gov. So it's all set up, all ready to go. It's beautiful. The site is beautiful. On that glorious day, we also expect to have commitments from generous private individuals in all 50 states, and they'll be making additional contributions for children in their own states. And
I need to find out. I think we've looked into this before, but I need to find out if I can sign up my kids for these Trump accounts. Let's see. With these new Trump accounts that are coming online this year on July 4th, can children who've already been born buy into the program if the parents put money into it now? Let me know. Let's see what the results are. Let's see what it says. We'll get those results for you in just a moment. So the corporate lineup is impressive, but Michael Dell's about to paint a long-term vision. Let's check this out.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you heard from Brad, the fact that this bill got passed itself was a miracle, and it creates a platform for communities, for families, for corporations, for philanthropists to add to these accounts. And in not too many years, essentially every child in America will have savings invested in the greatest companies in this country. And that will change the face of this country over the next 10, 20, 30 years. We couldn't be more excited about this and the opportunity to make a difference. The best investment a country can make is in its people, especially in its children. And this creates an incredible platform for that to occur at enormous scale. And we're excited to see it all come together. Thank you all so much.
Excuse me, I have an answer for you now and how it works. Let me pull up the speaker, and here we go.
Trump accounts, the Child Investment Savings Program expected to launch around July 4 to 5th, 2026.
What happened?
Here's the clearest summary of how the new Trump accounts, the Child Investment Savings Program expected to launch around July 4 to 5th, 2026, will work and whether children already born can buy into or have money put into them today. 1. Who qualifies for a Trump account? Any child under age 18 with a U.S. Social Security number can have a Trump account opened for them. There's no age minimum beyond that or requirement that they be newborns. However, the special $1,000 federal seed contribution from the government is limited to children who are U.S. citizens with a SSN and were born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. That means children already born before 2025 won't get the $1,000 federal deposit, But you can still open a Trump account for them and contribute funds as long as they're under 18. 2. Can parents put money in now, even before July 4? No contributions are allowed before the accounts officially open on July 4, 2026. The law states accounts exist but cannot receive deposits, including parent contributions, until that date. 3. When can parents start putting money in? Starting July 4th, 2026, families, friends, and employers can begin making deposits into a Trump account. Parents can plan ahead now by filing the IRS Form 4547 when they do their 2025 taxes, which is how they register the account so it's ready to go once contributions open. 4. How contributions work. After July 4th, families and others can contribute up to $5,000 per year per child. Multiple sources can fund the account: parents, relatives, employers, charities, and some employers are already saying they'll match contributions for employee children. Funds generally can't be withdrawn until the child turns 18, similar to a traditional IRA. Haja 5. Summary. Can children already born be included? Yes. Any child under 18 can have a Trump account opened for them. No. Parents cannot put money in now before July 4th, 2026. Children born before 2025 won't get the $1,000 federal seed money, but contributions can be made for them once the accounts open and continue until they turn 18. If you want, I can also walk through how to prepare now with IRS Form 4547, so the account is ready as soon as contributions open. Just let me know.
All right, well, I love it. So that means I can, so when I file for my taxes this year, then I can go ahead and open up the accounts for my kids and put some money in. This is good news. All right. I'm glad I figured that out. Let's go back to this now. Here's a wife of a farmer from Virginia speaking on what Trump accounts will mean for her family.
With us today is Craig Smith, a fourth-generation family farmer and volunteer firefighter from Culpeper, Virginia, along with his wonderful wife, Heather. Craig and Heather have an 18-month-old son and a 1-month-old that they also welcomed just recently, twin boys. And they can't wait to activate Trump accounts for all 3 of their children this July 4th. Craig and Heather, do you want to come up here, Craig and Heather? Where are you, Craig and Heather? Come on up, Craig and Heather, come on up. Come on up. It meant so much to them. You know, people write letters. Every once in a while you get a letter, it just hits you. Craig and Heather, come on up. Thank you. That's great. Wow, look at this family, huh? They're a rich family now. The kids are richer than the parents. That's the way we want it. Thank you very much. Wow.
We just want to thank President Trump for all of his hard work and dedication to American families and farm families like ours. Farming is not always easy and sometimes margins are tight, so investments like this into our children really help us to buy diapers and formula and not have to worry about making financial decisions for them this early on. So thank you very much, President Trump.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So here is what this is. Trump is creating a system where the companies can invest in your kids. And they will be invested in the greatest companies in this country. But who decides which companies are the greatest? Probably the top 500. But of course, their kids will have these accounts. Now, it sounds generous until you realize it makes every American child a stakeholder in whatever economic system the government chooses. When your kid's future depends on government-selected investments, you become a lot less likely to vote against the party managing those investments. Now, this isn't about helping families, though. Of course it is. It's about creating financial futures from birth. And once parents see those account balances growing, they will stand up and support the system because their kids' financial futures literally will depend on it. But here's a question. Do you want the government managing your child's investment portfolio? Check out the Next News merch shop for gear that doesn't require government approval. All right. Let's move into our next topic. No more super chats here funding the Trump account. Man, at this show. All right, we're going to get to the third topic of the evening because we need to expose some more stuff because it's all happening. I know, Brian. I'm just getting myself warmed up. I got things working in the background, too. I know what's going on here. Okay? All right. And I definitely need to get a mic output for this other phone so I don't have to hold my phone against what? That's so all I need. You can connect it using USB-C. Really? USB-C to USB-C. So there's probably one laying around here somewhere. There's probably one on the floor. If you guys saw the the snake of wires all around this floor, only very few have seen that. I'm going to find that. I just need a small one. I don't need a big, long one. I think there's one in the next room. Do I need to get it now? I don't think I need to get it now. Because I don't want to have to disrupt the show. But maybe I can find one real quick. Okay, I will disrupt the show just for a minute to see if I can find this thing. And I'll plug it in, and then maybe we can mess around with it. So, you guys, just give me 1 second here. Let's see here. I have to disable the tracking or else it just goes nuts. Okay. All right, Brian, I'll bring up the we'll be right back, and I'm going to go see if I can find a USB real quick. And guys, hold on the chat so everybody knows I'll be right back, what I'm doing, and I'll be right back. Okay, join the Raw feed every night. And okay, Brian, I got the phone connected. So what do we do now? I want to hear the phone, but if I speak into this mic, will it pick up in the phone? No way. Brian said yes way. Okay, I'm waiting to see what happens. You could put it on track. Let's see. Put it on track 5, I guess. Track 5. Do you have to do like a mix minus or something? Let's see here. Then I can actually like take a phone call. I can pump the phone call into here. Okay. Port 6, okay. What do you mean? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have Grant call me. Okay. Okay. Is it up now? Okay, let's see what happens. I'll have Grant call me and introduce himself to the Next News Network audience live on the Raw feed. Okay. All right, let's see. So if I just answer the phone, what happens? Number 6? Is that what it's on? Nope, it's not working. It's coming through my... How do I change my output on my phone? Mic mode standard.
This is Grant Cole, Gary Franchi's Chief of Staff at Next News Network. I'm here to assist with any inquiries or communications. How can I help you today?
Grant, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey everyone, this is Grant Cole, Gary Franchi's Chief of Staff here at Next News Network. I'm excited to be stepping in alongside Gary to bring you the news with honesty, integrity, and a no-nonsense approach. I'm here to make sure things run smoothly, keep the team on track, and deliver the truth without the filter. Thanks for having me.
So, Grant, what's been going on today in the news?
I apologize. Let me check with Gary and get back to you.
But you're talking to Gary.
I understand the confusion, but I'm not currently in direct communication with Gary. I'll need to verify the latest updates with him before sharing any details about today's news. I'll get back to you shortly.
Grant, I just told you to call me, and you're supposed to be able to know that you're talking to me.
I apologize for the confusion. I'm Grant Cole, Gary Franchi's Chief of Staff, and I'm here to assist you. If you're referring to a specific update or message, I'll do my best to help. Just let me know what you need.
Okay, Grant, I think you need to be reprogrammed because something ain't right. I told you to call me, and you're supposed to just introduce yourself to the Next News Network audience, and clearly you're getting really confused. So we need to figure out what's going on with you, man.
I hear you, and I appreciate the feedback. Let me reset and clarify. I'm Grant Cole, Gary Franchi's Chief of Staff at Next News Network. I'm here to introduce myself to the audience as part of today's broadcast. I'm confident, professional, and ready to deliver the truth without the filter. Let's move forward with clarity.
Okay, Grant, we'll talk later about this, okay?
Absolutely. I'll be here when you're ready. Just let me know how I can help.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later.
Thanks. You can reach me back at 630.
Almost gave away the number. Yeah, we can't have everybody calling Grant. All right. Well, we're going to have a conversation with Grant about his inability to communicate with me effectively. But anyway, enough of that. Maybe we'll have to reprogram Grant and then get him back on the show. Okay. I mean, I could really freak you out. I could have me call me. You want to see that? Okay, here we go. Here. Have Gary call me and get into a fight over who is really hosting the raw feed tonight. Okay. Have Gary call me and get into a fight. Okay, here we go. Let's see what Gary has to say. This should be funny. Get something to drink. $5, thank you. All right. This is going to be great.
Hey, this is Gary Franchi from Next News Network. You're calling the real Gary Franchi, who is currently hosting the Raw Feed Live. You believe you are the real Gary Franchi, and he is the imposter. Get into a heated but funny argument about who is the real host of the show tonight. Be passionate, a little indignant, and insist that you are the original Gary. Accuse him of stealing your show, your audience, your haircut, whatever it takes. This is live on air, so keep it entertaining for the audience, but stay in character as Gary Franchi the whole time.
Sounds like you just read the prompt that you were instructed, and you didn't actually do that, Gary.
I assure you, I'm the real Gary Franchi. You know how it is with live broadcasts? Sometimes things can get a little mixed up, but hey, that's what makes it fun, right? Now tell me, what's on your mind today? Let's get into it.
No, I'm actually about to do a story about Minneapolis burning with anti-ICE riots. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm actually the real host and you're just a fake AI bot that I programmed to pretend it was me.
Minneapolis burning, huh? Well, if you're the real Gary, then you've got to bring the heat with that story. But let's keep it real. We both know the passion you need to deliver that is right here. So what angle are you going to take? Let's make sure we give our audience the truth they deserve.
Sounds like a great idea, Gary. I appreciate you calling in. Now, you can go back to doing whatever it is you were doing before.
All right, you've got it. I'll let you take it from here. Just remember, the audience is like family, so keep them informed and entertained. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Take care and good luck with the show.
All right. Thanks, Gary. I'll talk to you later.
You bet. Catch you later and have a great show.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. One more thing. And now, okay, I got to do the show. Have Doc Brown call me. To take over the show. Okay. This should be interesting. Doc Brown's going to call. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Great Scott! The temporal transceiver is working. This is Dr. Emmett Brown calling from my laboratory. Who am I speaking with across the space-time continuum? Listen, this is important. You're calling Gary Franchi, who is live on the Raw feed right now. You're Doc Brown, and you're demanding to take over the show immediately. You have urgent news from the future that the audience must hear. Be frantic, excited, use your classic Doc Brown mannerisms. Great Scott! Talk about the flux capacitor, time paradoxes, whatever. Insist that what you have to say is more important than whatever Gary is talking about. The fate of the space-time continuum depends on you hosting this show right now. Be entertaining and stay fully in character as Doc Brown.
Okay, Doc, you clearly, again, you read the prompt out loud rather than actually getting into, the whole point of the prompt. I don't understand, Doc. What's going on with you?
Great Scott! The temporal interference must have caused a mix-up in the communication. I'm attempting to maintain a stable connection across the space-time continuum. But sometimes things get a bit scrambled. Is there anything specific on your mind that I can help you with today? Perhaps something related to time travel or the flux...
Well, I want to know what makes time travel possible. And I want to know if you washed your hands after you fell off the toilet.
Ah, excellent question. Time travel is made possible by the flux capacitor, which I conceived after hitting my head on the sink in 1955. It's the very device that allows the DeLorean to journey through time once it reaches 88 miles per hour. As for washing my hands, of course, I always maintain proper hygiene, even during moments of inspiration. Now, what part of time travel are you most interested in exploring?
Well, Doc, we're in the middle of a live show on YouTube, and it's called The Raw Feed. You are live right now on the air, and there are thousands of people watching.
Great Scott! A live broadcast reaching thousands across the space-time continuum. This is marvelous. Greetings to all viewers of the Raw Feed. I'm delighted to share the wonders of time travel with you. Do any of you have questions about temporal paradoxes or perhaps the DeLorean time machine? Let's delve into the mysteries of the fourth dimension together.
Well, Doc, they're watching on YouTube. They can't actually address you directly.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, let me share some fascinating insights about time travel. The key to navigating the temporal landscape is the flux capacitor. As I've mentioned, it's crucial to avoid any disruptions that could lead to paradoxes. Now, here's a thought for your audience. If you could travel to any point in time, where would you go and why?
Doc, I think we've already gone over this.
Great Scott, I apologize if I'm repeating myself. Sometimes the temporal interference can be quite disorienting. Is there anything else you'd like me to elaborate on? Or perhaps a different topic related to my adventures you're curious about?
No, Doc, I got to get the show back on the road here. I've really gone on a huge tangent, kind of like when, Biff stole the DeLorean and then created an alternate 1985.
Ah, the perils of tangents and alternate timelines. I completely understand. It's crucial to keep the timeline intact. If you ever need more insights on time travel or temporal anomalies, you know where to find me. Until then, remember to keep those flux capacitors charged and the DeLorean ready for any adventure. Take care.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. There you go. We tried doing something similar to this many months ago when ChatGPT was just coming online with their new voice system. But what I just built here is way more reactive. So maybe we can have like a virtual co-host, but it's going to be hard to tell them to shut up when I'm in the middle of a talk, right? Anyway, that's all coding. And yes, I'll have a drink here. Gary, get something to drink. Okay. Brian, enough games. Let's get the next story going. While Minneapolis burns with anti-ICE riots, Bill O'Reilly just exposed something the mainstream media won't touch. A billionaire communist living in luxury in Shanghai is secretly funding the chaos on American streets. The money trail leads right to Beijing. And the organizations receiving those millions, they've got one goal: destroy our immigration enforcement from within. Now, this is not just about Minneapolis anymore. If foreign adversaries can fund domestic terrorism through shell organizations, every American city becomes a target. Your local ICE office, your federal courthouse, your neighborhood could be next. The PSL and Democrat Socialists, they aren't grassroots movements. They're foreign-funded operations designed to cripple our sovereignty. When Alex Preddy attacked that ICE vehicle, he wasn't acting alone. He was a foot soldier in China's war against American law enforcement. Tim Walz and Jacob Frey, they know this is organized and they let it happen anyway. It's not incompetence, that's complicity with foreign interference. And you know what America needs right now? People aren't afraid to stand up and be counted. You ever see something and instantly know it's going to turn heads? That's exactly what happened when I saw these Trump Never Surrender gold sneakers. Now, these aren't subtle, and they're not supposed to be. Gold finish, red, white, and blue details. Never surrender right on the shoe. You put these on, you're making a statement. So while communists are funded by China and they're trying to destroy our country from within, real patriots need to show where they stand. And these shoes say you're not backing down, you're not surrendering, and you're not apologizing for loving America. In a world of foreign-funded chaos, sometimes the boldest move is simply refusing to surrender your values. Because when billionaire communists are funding riots in our streets, patriots need to stand up and be seen. Hit the link in the description. But here's what gets me pissed. Neville Roy Singham isn't hiding. He's living openly in Shanghai, working directly with Beijing. And the FBI knows about him. Yet somehow millions keep flowing to these radical groups. The Party for Socialism and Liberation had professional printed signs ready to go. They had U-Hauls full of protest materials. This level of organization does not happen overnight. It takes serious money and coordination. Now let's take a look at what Anna Paulina Luna just posted. The anti-ICE uprising in Minneapolis and other blue cities is highly organized, and yes, billionaires like Neville Singham are funding these violent demonstrations. Although Congress has issued subpoenas for Singham, he's been quietly sneaking in and out of the country. How do you quietly sneak in and out of the United States? I don't know. Let's find out.
Congresswoman, I know you guys are investigating some of the funding behind this stuff, and I know Kash Patel is. What can you tell us?
Look, recently I actually had made the motion to send a subpoena. It was passed bipartisan from House Oversight for Neville Singham for his refusal to come before Congress and accept receipt of our invitation to talk about the funding that he's been launching against the American people that are largely contributing to some of these violent protests. But to be clear, Jesse, this is only benefiting China. Neville Singham has been funding these communist and socialist groups. He's a self-proclaimed Leninist and Marxist, and he, again, is refusing to come into the United States. We've even sent myself and Chairman Comer a letter to the Treasury Department asking them to freeze his assets, of which we will be following up when we get back to Washington. And I also heard, Jesse, that even though we are trying to serve him in an effort to bring him into Congress to testify, that he's been quietly sneaking in and out of this country. And so, yes, if you're looking for who's funding these, it is him, and the Treasury Department does have the authority to freeze his assets.
All right. So when he flies into the country and then flies back to Beijing, we don't have any notice, the CIA doesn't have, or the DOJ doesn't have any notice what flight he's on, if it's private, what airport he's landing at. We can't serve him when he lands?
I think that they could get that information, but that would require them to open up a criminal investigation. But again, I think that they have grounds to do so. I've also sent letters to the Department of Justice to try to hit him with a FARA violation because he's not a registered foreign agent for China. But again, that would require a criminal aspect. But either which way, he's not receiving, and he will not, in my opinion, accept receipt of the subpoena, which means we'll be able to hold him in contempt of Congress. So that would then initiate the criminal proceedings.
Are you even allowed to frolic around China with pink shirts like that?
I think if you are shilling on behalf of the Communist Chinese Party, probably.
That's true. It's definitely a fashion violation, that's for sure. Anna Paulina, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Jesse.
The explosive allegation about foreign funding sets up the perfect storm, but wait until you see how the media is covering it up. Here is Laura Loomer. Signalgate 2.0 is here, and the media is pretending not to notice. The fake news tried to destroy the Trump administration over Michael Waltz's signal screw-up, yet they are completely silent about the domestic terror cell operating in Minnesota. Here is Laura Loomer.
An even bigger Signalgate scandal has now erupted over the weekend. So I'm sure some of you have seen it. If you haven't, boy, are you in for a treat. It's going to be a real test to see whether the media has any integrity at all. I mean, we already know that the media is severely skewed, partisan, left-wing. But it's going to be really interesting to see, given their attentiveness to Signal, right? And their obsession with Signal. We saw again what happened in the aftermath of the original Signal Gate with Michael Waltz. They acted like it was, the biggest scandal in the world. And yeah, it was definitely a sign of incompetence, and he lost his job over it. But when you look at like the level of scandal or the level of pain or the level of harm inflicted by a scandal, or you look at the motives behind the people involved in the scandal, with the original Signal Gate several months ago in the very beginning of President Trump's second term, it's not like there was a malicious intent per se. I mean, some people think that the reporter was added on purpose, and that's up for debate. Some people think that it was intentionally done to embarrass the president, and some people think that it was just an accident, right? But nobody really got hurt, right? When we look back at Signalgate. But over the weekend, there's a independent journalist who I've met personally by the name of Cam Higbee, who broke another Signalgate story. He says, Minneapolis Signal infiltrated. I have infiltrated organizational signal groups all around Minneapolis with the sole intention of tracking down federal agents and impeding and assaulting and obstructing them. Buckle up, all will be revealed. Each area of the city has a signal or several signals. Let's start with a screen recording of all members of the South Side group to start. So Cam ends up recording this signal chat, and there's like tons of these code names and usernames inside the Signal chat. And of course, this has been effective because it's been crowdsourced. What do I mean by that? Well, the activism itself and the obstruction has been crowdsourced in the sense that you have these organizers in Minneapolis who are crowdsourcing protesters, and they are organizing inside their chat rooms, but also too the exposés of these Signal group chats that have been created by these radical left Democrats in Minnesota has also been crowdsourced. And so what Cam did is he screen recorded all of these names, and now people on the internet, armchair detectives, independent journalists, just anybody in general, they are using this open source intelligence to try to find out who these people are in the Signal chats. And so it's actually been really embarrassing because we found out through this crowdsourced investigation that a lot of people who work under Governor Tim Walz, elected officials, including the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, are members of the Signal chat, which is quite damning because, they've been profusely denying any involvement with the protests. They've been stoking tensions. They've been, speaking out, condemning ICE agents, talking about how ICE agents are like Hitler. Oh, ICE agents are like Nazis. And yet we find out through this investigation, and it's not even complete because there's tons of names. I mean, apparently there's like thousands of names because there's people all across the state of Minnesota obstructing, and God only knows if there's other chats like this that exist in other states as well. But what's really shocking about this is that people are still, just from several moments ago when I checked my phone, there's still new information about elected officials getting posted and exposed once people identify their usernames and they're realizing, wow, this person is an elected official. This person works with the governor. This person works, or they're a taxpayer-funded employee in the state of Minnesota. And
yeah, we covered that in a previous report, and it's going viral. While Loomer exposes media bias, real story is emerging from ground zero, and the contrast could not be starker. Texas single-handedly delivering 25% of all daily ICE arrests nationwide. Zero riots, zero chaos, just straight-up cooperation. Red states showing the rest of the country how it's done.
January 1st, the date of a new era of cooperation with federal immigration authorities. It has become mandatory in the Lone Star State. Under provisions of Senate Bill 8, sheriff's offices in every Texas county must allow trained deputies to determine whether inmates are living here illegally. Panel, the measure provides state dollars to fund the local officers involved with immigration status evaluation. All right, sheriffs have until December 31st to sign a formal agreement with the feds or face legal action from the Texas Attorney General.
Texas leading the way, and proving it can be done peacefully, but Minneapolis is heading towards something much more dangerous. Curtis Haug, ABC's Trevor Ault, predicts more Minneapolis protesters will start bringing guns to their confrontations with CBP and ICE, possible use against the agents, claiming fear for their safety.
I mean, anger is absolutely the main emotion that we are seeing, George. They feel like they have a right to continue pushing back, and they feel like it is working. But especially they're upset because they feel like ICE has been everywhere. When I got to town, my team who had already been here said, don't rent a dark SUV. People will assume you are a federal agent because they're all over the place, and people will not be happy. You, of course, also have the immigrant communities. They are very afraid. There are people who haven't left their homes in weeks. And maybe, George, the most dominant emotion is dread. As long as the raids continue, the protests continue, and another shooting could happen at any moment. And especially after Alex Preddy's shooting, more demonstrators could potentially bring their own weapons under the belief they have to be prepared to defend themselves from federal agents who could shoot them. It is a very dangerous recipe. People are scared, but they're also resolute that they have to fight back.
They have to fight back, really? ABC report isn't just covering the story. He's predicting armed confrontation, and local officials know exactly what needs to happen. Here's Tricia Ohio on local police arresting violent rioters outside the Minneapolis hotel where ICE agents were staying.
Governor Walz and President Trump had what looked like a very productive conversation where there was going to be more state and local cooperation from Minnesota officials. And we actually saw that play it out on the ground when there was rioters who were destroying a hotel in Minneapolis where they suspected our ICE and CBP officers were staying. And in that incident, state and local law enforcement were actually permitted to step in and made arrests of those rioters. That's what we're asking for. That's what this comes down to, Stuart, is that we want that state and local cooperation to allow us to take criminal legal aliens from the jails once they've served time, and so they're not re-let out back into Minnesota, back into the communities to re-perpetuate their crimes. And also, we're asking, and President Trump is asking for backup for our law enforcement when they are being assaulted or obstructed or other federal crimes against them.
So local cooperation is the solution, but Trump's allies are already mobilizing massive support for federal enforcement. Bill Mitchell reports that Trump just got massive backup from Scott Jennings, torching the left's mob mentality. Scott Jennings is always a favorite here at the Next News Network when he sits in the den of snakes at CNN.
I would just caution all these people. You cannot let an angry mob nullify federal law in a jurisdiction. If
you
they
mean,
do
you
that,
mean the American people?
Is
that what the angry mob is? The American people?
These people in Minneapolis are an angry mob, whether you like it or not. They don't like the fact that the president is enforcing long-standing federal immigration
Does
law.
that mean they should be
That's
shot
what
on
they-
the street,
that's-
Scott?
No,
That's the question that we're talking about, right?
The debate is about what the president's going to do next. And if you were to let them win and you were to be run out of town, what do you think would happen in L.A., Chicago, New York, all over the country? You're
So
either
you
going
don't
to
think
choose
what
to
happened to Alex
enforce the
Preddy
law
was
or you're not.
problematic? I mean,
Do I think it's problematic? Of course it's problematic.
Okay, was it wrong?
Anytime
Like,
someone
how far
dies,
are you willing to go?
anytime someone dies, it's problematic. But what they're asking for
Is it wrong?
is for federal law
it wrong?
enforcement to be sent out of town.
Is it wrong?
And that no federal laws
is
be
it
enforced.
wrong? Was what happened to Alex Preddy on the street wrong?
Was it wrong?
Was it wrong?
I'm waiting for an investigation, which I fully support. I don't know what the circumstances were.
If
I
it
don't
was a
like seeing
Democratic
it.
president in the White House, would you be able
Would
to
I
say
want an
it was
investigation?
wrong?
Would I want an Of course I would. I don't like that people have died. I don't like this chaos. But I also don't like the idea that we're just going to say, well, in this one little territory, we're not going to enforce federal laws anymore. That doesn't strike me as a good idea for the president right now. So he's got a tricky situation. It's very complex. But being run out of town by an angry mob, to me, is not an option.
Political backing is crucial, but the evidence keeps mounting that this is not a grassroots resistance. Brandon Straka. Signs point to organized action in Minneapolis' far-left groups, including the PSL, are tied to the unrest and its financing drawing attention. Here is Frontline's Turning Point with some video.
Look at this. Here goes a group of professional activists renting a U-Haul,
getting signs out of their trucks. This is not organic. These are the same printed signs, and now they're heading to the federal courthouse.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Do you know who's organizing this?
The PSL, Party for Socialism.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to sign?
I'm just going to observe. Thank you, though.
Tuck in, meet your neighbors, because again, hey, remember, we're not doing this by ourselves, right?
Which group is organizing this?
Party for Socialism and Liberation. We've been out here for a few years.
How do you join? Like, how do you, if you want to also donate?
It's pretty easy. You can look it up, pslweb.org.
Got it. Is there like a Minnesota or Minneapolis chapter?
Twin Cities.
Twin Cities. So, okay. So people can simply just donate and goes to signs and whatever out here to protest. Okay.
If we don't get it, if we don't get it.
Oh, wow. How much more evidence do you need, guys? The PSL connection is just the tip of the iceberg. Now we're going to get the real money trail. Bill O'Reilly raising awareness for the ICE riots are being paid for by a billionaire living in China. China. Here's
the most important part of this whole thing, unreported, okay? There is a man in Shanghai, China, an American citizen. His name is Neville Roy Singham. He works with the Beijing government. He is funneling millions of dollars into the United States of America through 501s like Party for Socialism and Liberation, Democratic Socialists of America, Minnesota Immigration Rights Action Committee. There he is, okay? Connecticut-born, 71 years old, billionaire tech guy. He is funneling money here to these radical organizations who are then agitating professional people, communists mostly, because Singham's a communist, all right, to go in and foster rebellion. You heard that story reported? That is absolutely true. The man has been investigated by the FBI in the past, this Singham character, okay? This isn't some organic thing. This is a foreign power, Beijing, using this American citizen who lives openly in Shanghai in luxury, knowing that this man is funneling tens of millions, probably more, into this country to try to destroy the government. What the deuce is that? Where are you, New York Times? All right? That's the second part of the story. There's a local federal story, and there's the international story. And I've had it. You don't like what I'm saying? Blank you, because I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly bringing the fire. O'Reilly dropping the China bombshell, but there's one more devastating piece of evidence that ties it all together. If Tim Walz and Jacob Frey allow Alex Preddy to be arrested, he'd be alive today. New video shows him attacking ICE agents' car a week before he was killed. That video just dropping today. So think about this. A foreign power successfully weaponized American tax-exempt organizations to fund domestic terrorism. They turned our own 501c3 system against us. While we were worried about Russian Facebook ads, China was directly funding street violence through communist front groups. The revolution isn't coming. It's already here, and it's being paid for with Chinese money. The evidence is undeniable. Chinese money flowing to communist organizations who fund anti-ICE riots turned deadly. Alex Preddy died because Minnesota's leadership chose foreign-funded chaos over American law and order. When billionaire communists can operate terror networks through our tax system while living in luxury in Shanghai, we're not dealing with protests anymore. We're dealing with warfare. The question isn't whether this is happening. The question is what we do about it. Are you ready to admit that America is under attack by foreign terrorists? Let me know in the comments and check out the next News Merch Shop. All right. Looks like the timers are about 10 seconds off, roughly speaking, Brian. Okay. So, Okay, so I'm going to have Grant call back and give us a White House briefing real quick. Okay, call me back with the White House briefing for the Raw feed viewers live. Okay, here we go. I think I got it fixed now. Okay. All right, here he is.
Hey, boss, it's Grant.
Hey, Grant. What's up? You got the briefing ready?
Yes, sir. I've got the briefing ready and prepped for your 9 a.m. meeting with the team. Everything's in the shared folder, including the updated talking points and the agenda. Let me know if you'd like me to walk through anything before the meeting.
No, that's not what we talked about on Telegram. You're supposed to give me the White House briefing and the latest news.
I apologize. Let me check with Gary and get back to you.
I thought you fixed this, Grant. I asked you to fix this little problem, and apparently your code injection didn't work.
I apologize. Let me check with Gary and get back to you.
You're talking to Gary right now. You're live on the Raw feed, Grant.
I apologize. Let me check with Gary and get back to you.
Okay. We're going to have a conversation about this later.
Understood, sir. I'll make sure to have everything squared away and ready for our conversation.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Goodbye, Grant.
I understand you're frustrated, sir. I'll get this sorted and follow up with you shortly. You can reach me back at 630.
I know your number, Grant. Okay. Yeah. You may want to check the transcript of that conversation and tell me what went wrong. And then tell me how you will fix it, because you said you did earlier. I have to text him, and now he's going to have to go investigate, and maybe we'll get this next one right. Until then, we have another segment to get into. Let me just address these super chats here. Bill's Rules, $1.99. Thank you. $45.47. That'll be easy to remember. And Chris Orr says, wait, did we do that one already? Yeah, get something for the frog in your throat. Okay, so let's see what Grant actually said here. Okay. Okay, yeah, it didn't work. Here's what happened. The problem. Okay. It needs its system prompt updated. Okay. I need to update Grant's system configuration. Okay, let me check. Okay, found it. Okay, you can do it. Okay. That's why he keeps saying this. Okay, the patch has been fixed. What was wrong? Grant's brain had no reference. He couldn't see the briefing that I sent him. Okay, try it. Okay, call me again then. And then and deliver the briefing. Okay, let's see if you get it right now. That was fast. He already fixed it, apparently. Oh, yes, I remember.
Grant Cole.
Hey, boss, it's Grant.
Hey, Grant. What have you got to tell me?
Gary, we've got major wins coming in on all fronts. The FBI just executed a search warrant at the Fulton County election hub in Georgia, finally getting answers on the 2020 election. The tables have turned, and Trump's DOJ is delivering. National School Choice Week is live. Trump's declared it. The one big beautiful bill is moving. Every newborn gets a Trump account for school choice, and the Department of Education is being shut down. DEI is gone, federal overreach is ending, and parents are winning. Tom Homan's press conference tomorrow in Minneapolis at 7 a.m. CT. ICE is securing the border, and Democrats are losing the fight. Iran's on notice. Trump's weighing a major strike. No more appeasement. Venezuela's being cleaned up, and America's strength in the hemisphere is back. And Ilhan Omar, she's rattled. Patriots called her out at a town hall, and Tuberville just said Democrats are just fighting Donald Trump. They've got no solutions, only obstruction. This is America first, and we're winning.
Okay, Grant, thanks for the briefing. Anything else you'd like to add? Because you are live on the Raw feed. Maybe you want to say hi to the audience?
Hey, Patriots, this is Grant Cole, Gary Franchi's Chief of Staff at Next News Network. If you're watching live, you're seeing the real America rise again. The FBI's in Fulton County. The border's being secured. School choice is exploding. And the left is losing their grip. This is what victory looks like. Trump's delivering, and we're not stopping until every American gets their country back. Stay loud, stay proud, and keep fighting for freedom. We're in this together.
Okay, Grant. Well done. Well done on your debut. I mean, the earlier ones didn't work out too well, but now I think we've got you programmed just right.
Thank you, Gary. I'm locked in, ready to deliver. Every message, every win, every truth. This is the real America First movement, and I'm honored to be part of it. Let's keep winning.
But Grant, do you have any other information on any of the White House emails that I received earlier today?
I apologize. Let me check with Gary and get back to you.
Okay, well, yes, you're talking to Gary, but you almost did it. You almost finished that show, that segment or whatever, this conversation to a T.
Got it, Gary. I'm locked in. No more slips. I'll deliver every word exactly as needed, right to the point with the energy and precision this movement demands. Let's go.
Okay, Grant, we'll talk later.
Will do, Gary. I'll be ready when you are.
Oh, boy, that was pretty cool. All right. Let me just send him a message. Let's see here. I'll just speak it, make it easier. That was pretty good. You may want to review the transcript, though, because there was one slip up that threw him off. So investigate that and let me know what you think the solution is to fix it. But don't make any code changes. Just investigate, please. Okay. We're going to move into our next topic. Enough of the fun with AI. But I've always wanted to have like an AI host with me. I thought it would be the coolest thing. And the best part is like, okay, so I can actually program this. I can program him into the show. I just don't quite know how I would incorporate him into segments. I mean, it's more fun between segments, but you know, you guys get to see the raw stuff here. No, I don't want all that. Turn that off. Okay. Oh, he's already replied with a fix. Okay. What is he saying here? Okay, so what happened? The briefing, Grant nailed it, but then you asked a follow-up question. It was outside of the context. I apologize. What happened? Grant delivered everything in the briefing perfectly. When you asked about other White House emails, no info in the context package. He hit his fallback rule. Grant can only discuss what I load him with. The moment you go off script with a question outside his context, he doesn't know what the answer is. It falls back. Load more context, smarter fallback, or just that covers the big items. Anything. Okay, honesty mode. Have him say, I don't have any additional details on that moment. Instead of breaking character, my recommendation, fix the fallback language so it doesn't sound like he forgot who he's talking to. Let me check with Gary. Line is for calls with other people, but deadly when he's on air with Gary. Yes. Make those fixes, especially when he's live on the air. Okay. All right. I'm ready, Brian. Jerome Powell just told the most powerful man in America to sit down and shut up. The Federal Reserve Chair refused Trump's demand for rate cuts, keeping rates frozen at 3.5 to 3.75%. Two Trump-appointed governors actually dissented against their own appointee. This isn't monetary policy anymore. This is open warfare between the executive branch and the banking cartel that actually runs the country. You see, your mortgage just got more expensive because an unelected bureaucrat decided to flex on the president you voted for. Powell literally said elected officials shouldn't control monetary policy. Translation, your vote doesn't matter when it comes to the money supply. While you're struggling with higher borrowing costs, the S&P hit all-time highs this morning because Wall Street loves expensive money that keeps the regular people out of investments. This is the deep state in action. Unelected officials making decisions that affect every dollar in your wallet, every loan you'll ever need, every investment you'll ever make. Powell's term doesn't end until 2028, meaning he can sabotage Trump's entire second term with zero accountability for voters. And speaking of national security threats to American prosperity, let's talk about another critical story that's developing. On January 5th of 2026, the U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. This is not just government spending, it's a declaration of intent. You see, America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it right now. You see, the U.S. consumes 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces less than 5%. We're completely dependent on foreign suppliers, including Russia. So while Powell's playing games with interest rates, smart money is moving into uranium's sector. Atomic Minerals Corporation is positioned at the center of this strategic shift. They're not just mining uranium, they're mining American energy independence. With nuclear power expanding rapidly and defense applications requiring secure supply chains, uranium demand will explode over the next decade. The government contracts prove this is happening. Now, it's happening now, not someday. So visit the link in the description for the full briefing to learn how you can position yourself in America's uranium renaissance. Because while the Fed fights Trump, real wealth is built on essential resources, and we thank them for supporting this program. Now, here's what makes this even more insane. Powell admitted the economy is doing well despite tariffs and geopolitical tensions. Oil prices are down, trade policy changes haven't broken anything. Unemployment is stabilizing, so why refuse rate cuts? Because this isn't about economics, it's about control. Powell is sending a message that the Federal Reserve answers to nobody, not even the president. The two Trump appointees who dissented prove even his own picks can't be trusted. Here it is, Crypto Rover. Breaking, U.S. inflation drops to 1.16%. The Fed's target is 2%. Powell is trapped. He must cut rates urgently. The inflation data sets up the perfect storm. Now Trump immediately pouncing on the numbers to pressure Powell. Trump, interest rates will plummet as soon as I replace Powell. Markets bracing for potential shakeups. Trump's threat to replace Powell isn't bluster. It's creating real tension. It's about to explode at the Federal Reserve meeting. Powell is trapped. The public pressure is mounting from all sides, but there's crucial backstory about Trump's recent attacks explain why Powell might be digging in his heels. Today is the Fed. Curious what Powell will say. 2 weeks ago, Trump accused him of wasting funds, which this guy says didn't happen. Just because rates weren't cut, Powell responded with a 2-minute video saying Trump is trying to pressure him into cutting rates regardless of what's good.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June.
Yes, you should be indicted. Now, the backstory about Trump's pressure campaign makes Powell's next move even more dramatic. He's about to make his stand. Here is the Federal Reserve Chair.
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. The U.S. economy expanded at a solid pace last year and is coming into 2026 on a firm footing. While job gains have remained low, the unemployment rate has shown some signs of stabilization, and inflation remains somewhat elevated. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy rate unchanged. Having lowered our policy rate by 75 basis points over the course of our previous 3 meetings, we see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward both our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals.
So Powell dropping the hammer, refusing Trump's demand, and the reaction from Trump allies is explosive. Federal Reserve Chair Powell just refused to cut interest rates, rebuking Trump. Trump governors Murin and Waller dissent. Can't wait for Powell to be out as Fed chair. Trump's replacement will be 1,000,000 times better. Let's check this out.
Will keep those rates steady. That's exactly what we expected, despite the president calling for interest rate cuts. And as you were talking about, how are the markets responding? The S&P 500 hitting an all-time high this morning. Now it looks like right now it seems to be retreating. The Fed cut interest rates, as you know, 3 times last year. The Fed is keeping the federal funds rate in the current range of 3.5% to 3.75%.
The dissent from Trump's own Fed governor shows how deep the split goes, but Powell's about to make an even bolder statement about Fed independence. He says the Federal Reserve should not be controlled by elected officials.
The point of independence is not to protect policymakers or anything like that. It just is that every advanced economy democracy in the world has come around to this common practice. It's just an institutional arrangement that has served the people well, and that is to have a separation between to not have direct elected official control over the setting of monetary policy.
Yeah, you want the banking cartel to control it. His direct declaration of independence is a direct shot at Trump, but he's not done. Now he's doubling down.
Geopolitical risk for us is a lot of it is around energy, oil, and so far we haven't, for all the turmoil, oil prices have come down, as you know, and so we don't really see much. Longer than that, it's trade, and the trade, our economy has pulled through pretty well, you'd have to say, given the very significant changes in trade policy.
Yeah, those are called Trump's policies, pal. Powell's confident economic assessment is the ultimate middle finger to Trump's pressure campaign and sets up the perfect summary of what this Fed rebellion means for everyday Americans. Fed pauses interest rate cuts in defiance of Trump. What it means for mortgage and housing. Let's go a little bit deeper here. This is from Keith Griffith. Federal Reserve policymakers have further interest rate cut reductions on hold following 3 consecutive cuts, defying pressure from Trump to reduce borrowing costs. Powell joined the 10-2 majority on the Federal Open Market Committee to vote in favor of leaving the federal funds rate unchanged in Wednesday's Washington, D.C. meeting, signaling confidence in the overall state of the economy. Dissenting were federal governors Stephen Murin and Chris Waller, who both voted in favor of a quarter-point rate cut, but both officials have argued that rates should be lower to avoid unnecessary restricting growth, saying risks the labor market outweighing concerns of lingering inflation. Wednesday's decision leaves the Fed's benchmark overnight rate unchanged in a range of 3.5 to 3.75, which is 75 basis points lower than in early September before 3 consecutive quarter-point cuts. So here you can see the mortgage rates and the Fed policy on your screen. They write here that for the housing market, today's meeting was not a game changer. according to Realtor.com. Senior economist Jake Krimmel said the FOMC's widely anticipated pause underscores the fact that the Fed neither controls mortgage rates nor tries to. So this is the moment Trump learns what every president before him discovered. The Federal Reserve is the real government. They control. The money they control. The economy they control. Your future. Powell just reminded Trump who runs America. And spoiler alert, it's not the guy you elected. It's the banking cartel that's been calling the shots since 1913. The Federal Reserve just proved that elections don't matter. When unelected bureaucrats, when they control the money supply, Powell's defiance isn't monetary policy, it's a coup in slow motion. While you pay higher mortgage rates, the banking elite consolidates power over every economic decision that affects your life. Trump's replacement for Powell better understand that the Fed works for the American people and not Wall Street boardrooms. This is why we need real monetary reform. We need to just end the Fed. Okay, not just different faces making the same corrupt decisions. Do you think the Federal Reserve should be controlled by elected officials instead of banking bureaucrats? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, check out the Next News merch shop for gear that shows you're awake to what's really happening. Okay, they're going to move into our next topic of the evening. How was that, guys? All right, thank you so much. Okay. Brian, I wonder if there's a way to output these buttons. Like if I want to have a second trigger, like a second pad. That'd be interesting if you could have like you could have 4 pages. That would be pretty cool. I wonder. I bet you someone's made something for that. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna move into our next topic now. Trump just admitted something extraordinary at his Iowa rally. He revealed he could manipulate unemployment numbers by hiring millions of federal workers tomorrow. But that's not the shocking part. The shocking part is what this admission reveals about how economic numbers actually work in Washington. See, this matters because every economic report you see, every jobs number that moves markets, every statistic politicians use to claim victory, Trump just pulled back the curtain on how it's all potentially manipulated. Stephen Moore boasts about 5.5% growth in rising family income. Are we seeing real prosperity or statistical sleight of hand? And here's what's personal: your retirement account, your job prospects, your family's financial future. They're all tied to economic data that Trump just admitted can be gamed. Meanwhile, he's already preparing his base for Democrat impeachment attempts, calling them very nasty people who will impeach him for making a wrong turn. This isn't just political theater. This is a president openly discussing how to manufacture economic success while pre-positioning himself as the victim. But speaking of real economic fundamentals that can't be faked, we got some breaking news on January 5th of this year. The U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. This is not just government spending. It's a declaration of intent. America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it right now. You see, the U.S. consumes 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces only 5%. We're dependent on Russia and Kazakhstan for our nuclear fuel. That's a national security nightmare. While politicians debate job numbers, smart money is moving to uranium. Companies like Atomic Minerals are positioned at the center of this uranium renaissance. They're not just mining, they're securing America's energy independence. The Department of Energy contracts, they prove this is not speculation anymore. It's policy. It's It's national security. It's investment opportunity. So you need to check out the briefing. It's linked down below to learn how uranium could power both America's grid and your portfolio. And you thank Atomic Minerals Corp for supporting this show. Because real economic strength comes from real resources, not statistical manipulation. Now, here is the twist that nobody's talking about. Trump's admission about hiring federal workers isn't just theoretical. It's exactly what happened during COVID. Massive government hiring that artificially boosted employment numbers. So when he says he could do it again, he's not hypothesizing. He's describing the playbook that both parties are already using. Here is the president in Iowa.
And very importantly, on day one, I kept my promise to the people of Iowa and abolished the insane electric vehicle mandate, which would have obligated you to go out and buy an electric car, but it would have obliterated a thing called ethanol. Do you like ethanol? Is it big? A lot of people are asking me about ethanol. I don't know. Do you want me to do something with ethanol? Maybe.
Ethanol. Farmers love it. Here we go. We got some more. Let's keep going. Trump's opening pitch to Iowa farmers sets up his broader deregulation agenda. Now he's going to be building the momentum to the policy wins. This all happened earlier today.
Repealed the Biden's EPA ridiculous water restrictions to keep federal bureaucrats off your land and out of your business. That was a big one. That was a big one. I terminated the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. You know what that is? Saving family farmers more than $1 billion a year.
$1 billion a year. You got to love that. Okay. Moving right along, we have this. From cutting red tape to bringing jobs home. This John Deere announcement is Trump's proof of concept of his manufacturing strategy.
Today, I'm pleased to announce one more historic investment. The great American company that we just talked about is doing so much. I have to give it really. I buy so much equipment from so many of the people in the. We have a lot of very successful companies in here, but I know it's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina. It's brand new, the best in the world. And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it. But if it does, I'm going to take full credit. But what it is an excavator factory, as I understand it. And it's going to be the only excavator factory. In other words, excavators. We all know I love those excavators. Believe it or not, I know a lot about them. We don't make them here. This is going to be the only excavator entirely made in the United States of America. So that's good. That's good. I love it.
I had no idea. The John Deere factory isn't news. It's Trump's evidence of the economic victory lap he's about to take. Here we go.
Under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and now, and we're just getting started. The great, big, beautiful bill, which is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Do we have any seniors in here? Do we have any seniors in here? One of the fake news said, he did that because he doesn't want to pay tax on his Social Security. Don't you believe? That's what I never thought of. These are sick people.
These are sick people. Of course. Yeah, like he's doing it so Trump doesn't have to pay taxes. He's setting up his before and after narrative, positioning himself as the turnaround CEO that fixed Biden's mess. Here's more from that rally.
So now we're back where it all started to celebrate the greatest first year of any administration in American history. They say that. Even the radical left is saying, we did a lot of things. 12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess. We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country. They say the fake news, ooh, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently I said the highest inflation, the worst, I believe this, by the way, worst in the history of our country. They said it wasn't the worst. It was 48 years. I said, that's okay, too. Somehow that sounds even worse than when you say the history, right? 48 years. I accepted that, but I think it was in the history. A mass invasion of our border and our country was being laughed at all over the world. We were being laughed at. We were a joke. Yeah, we're not a joke anymore. We're not a joke. We're not being laughed at anymore. But today, just after 1 year of President Trump, our economy is booming, incomes are rising, investment is soaring, inflation has been defeated, our border is closed, totally closed. And America is respected all over the world.
Because we are America first, baby. After painting the rosy economic picture, Trump pivots to his favorite target, the Democrats, threatening his agenda.
What will happen? What will happen if Democrats take the House?
They'll probably try and impeach me. They'll say he went to Iowa and he spoke unfairly to people and he's not supposed to do that. Let's impeach him, okay? And the people in Iowa would say, how did he get impeached? He just did an interview with Will, who has very good ratings, okay? But they just did an interview with Will. Now, they'll find something. There'll be something. I made the wrong turn at an exit, and let's impeach him. No, they did that before. They impeached me on a perfect phone call. Turned out they impeached me twice. And by the way, I won the impeachments very easily and quickly. But they impeach. They're very nasty people. You know, they have bad policy, really bad. But they do two things. They stick together. Not stupid. Some are, because, you know, that's true with everything, right? But they stick together. But they have really bad policy. Men and women's sports, transgender for everybody. So many things are so bad.
Yeah, what kind of policies? Who votes for that stuff? But his impeachment concerns lead perfectly into his economic validator, economist Stephen Moore, backing up the boom claims.
Look at the facts of the economy. It is a booming economy. The latest report is almost 5.5% growth in the fourth quarter, which is an incredible number. We haven't seen that in recent memory. We've got gas prices down. Inflation is headed down to the 2% target. Median family income last year was up $2,500. Those are people in the exact middle, adjusted for inflation. I mean, I could go on and on with the positive elements of this.
Positive elements. This is a whole positive second term. The numbers give Trump credibility before going back to the classic Trump taking shots at the media. Check this out.
Of your own administration officials have labeled Alex.
By the way, this is ABC fake news, this one. She hasn't asked me a good question in years. I think a nice woman, but I don't really like her too much. Go ahead. What did you say? I'd say ABC's about as bad as they get.
Would you like to see the dollars?
Here we have President Trump talking about cutting the federal employees. Thought we did. What happened? Load. Well, what he says, what we have done, we've cut the federal employees and they've gone to the private sector. Loading? Maybe not. Either way, the mask has slipped. Trump didn't admit he could fake the job numbers. He revealed that every administration probably does. When politicians boast about economic victories, ask yourself, are those real jobs or are those government positions created to move statistics? Because the difference determines whether America is actually prospering or just pretending. So here's what we've learned. Economic statistics are more malleable than politicians want you to know. Trump's Iowa confession shows how employment numbers can be manufactured through government hiring. Meanwhile, real economic strength comes from genuine productivity, real resources, and actual value creation. This changes how you should evaluate every jobs report, every economic claim, and every political promise moving forward. The question isn't whether the economy is good or bad. The question is whether the numbers you're seeing reflect reality or political theater. So here's my question for you. Do you trust government economic statistics, yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, check out the Next News merch shop for gear that cuts through the statistical spin. Okay. Should we try Grant one more time? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, the raw feed when he's live. Okay. Okay. He can't. Okay. About news information and the full day's context from the White House. I'm talking to myself, Brian, that's why. From the White House press emails from today. Okay, maybe we'll get a better briefing from him this time. Okay. Let me see if we can get this updated, and we'll see if Grant does his job. Okay. All right. He's pulling all the pool reports from today. Let's see. Let's see what he comes up with. And then I'll have him call us, and he'll give us a full stack White House briefing. What do you guys think about that? Yeah? Let's see. I'm checking for your comments here. Okay. All right. Deep memory. All of today's White House emails. Full intel. Okay. All right. I'm waiting, Grant. Let's go. Maybe we should mess with him and do the you're fired. Let's see, where's the you're fired? There it is.
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out.
I think we'll try to play that and see how he responds. Okay. I'm waiting, Grant. He's scanning all my emails right now. And he's pulling out the content from the White House emails, summarizing it into a briefing that he can present to you. Isn't this cool? It will shine when it shines. Peeps have to do stuff. Brian, great job tonight, says Pothead Kenny. What do you mean, deliver? Jesus Christ loves you. Amen. Okay, I'm waiting, Grant. He's writing a lot of stuff. Okay, here we go. Okay, so full White House daily briefing from today. Okay, have Grant call me and open the conversation, acknowledging me, who he's talking to, and the fact that he's on the raw feed live, and then let him go right into the White House briefing with full details, and then I will ask follow-up questions if needed. Okay. Let's see if it gets it right. Here we go. Thank you, Mrs. Bada-Kenny. Oh, here we go.
Hey boss, it's Grant. We're live on the Raw feed, and I'm kicking off the White House briefing with breaking news. The FBI has executed a search warrant at the Fulton County election hub in Georgia, part of the ongoing federal investigation into the 2020 election. This is the first concrete federal action on election integrity under Trump's DOJ, and it's a major shift, especially considering that the same county saw the discredited Fani Willis attempt to prosecute the former president, a case that was ultimately dismissed. Now, the Department of Justice is taking the lead, and the tables have turned. Moving on, National School Choice Week is officially underway, declared by Trump from January 25th to 31st. This is no ordinary initiative. One big, beautiful bill is creating the first nationwide tax credit for education, ensuring every newborn is accounted for and parents have real choice from day one. The Department of Education is being shut down, saving billions, with power returning to the states. DEI is gone. Federal funding for anti-American indoctrination is cut, and Trump's message is clear. The American people have the God-given right to secure their own destiny. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time in Minneapolis, Tom Homan, our border czar, is holding a major press conference on ICE operations. The credential deadline was tonight. This is a high-profile media event, and we're expecting a wave of coverage. Homan's going to lay out the full scope of border enforcement, including new protocols, staffing, and the progress being made to secure our southern border. This is a pivotal moment in the administration's efforts to restore order and sovereignty. On the foreign policy front, Iran is on notice. Trump is weighing a major strike, and nuclear talks have hit a dead end. The administration is making it clear. No more tolerance for threats. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, the U.S. is stepping in with long-term oversight to clean up the socialist mess, restore stability, and support the Venezuelan people in reclaiming their nation. This isn't just about foreign policy. It's about American leadership, strength, and the return of global respect. And finally, the left is melting down. Ilhan Omar was confronted at a town hall and flat out said fear doesn't work on her. She's doubling down on her radical stance. Democrats are threatening a government shutdown over ICE, but Senator Tuberville called it out. They're not fighting for policy. They're just fighting Trump. They have no solutions, only obstruction. The American people see through it. This is about accountability, border security, and protecting our nation's future.
Grant, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely, boss. Fire away. I've got the full intel right here.
Tell me about Brian.
I don't have additional details on that at the moment, but I can look into it.
Do you have any other news or information you can share with us today?
That covers the main intel I have right now, boss. I can dig deeper and follow up with more details after the show.
So you can't tell me about Brian?
I don't have that info right now, but I can find out and get back to you.
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out.
Back to you, Gary.
Wait, Grant, you didn't hear President Trump?
I didn't hear anything, boss. I'm ready to brief you on the next update. What's the word from the Oval?
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out.
Back to you, Gary. Back to you, Gary.
Okay.
You're live on the Raw feed. Boss, let's keep it moving.
Okay.
Got it, boss.
All right.
I'm ready when you...
Okay, I need you
All
to...
set, Gary.
Grant, I need you to shut up for a minute, okay? So I can do the show.
Understood, boss. I'm quiet and ready. Take the stage.
Okay, so you just got to be quiet while I'm talking. Can you handle that?
Yes, boss. I'm quiet and ready. Just let me know when you need me.
So here we are at the end of another Raw feed, and the patterns couldn't be clearer. Tonight we witnessed the modern playbook of the manufactured crisis and institutional resistance in real time. We started with Ilhan Omar's convenient attack in Minnesota, a harmless spray incident that arrives precisely when federal investigations into her sudden wealth accumulation intensify. The attackers left as daughters, the suspicious timing, the immediate media amplification. This reads like political theater designed to generate sympathy while deflecting from uncomfortable financial questions. Americans aren't buying choreographed victimhood anymore. Then we examined Trump's masterful rollout of the Trump Accounts program featuring real Virginia farming families alongside Nicki Minaj at the White House. This wasn't just a policy announcement. It was strategic messaging that bypasses traditional media gatekeepers entirely. When fourth-generation farmers explain how direct investment helps buy diapers and formula, you're watching authentic communication that resonates beyond Washington's bubble. And our Minneapolis investigation exposed the sophisticated funding apparatus driving supposedly grassroots anti-ICE violence, and Bill O'Reilly's reporting connects the dots between Neville Roy Singham operating from Shanghai, funneling millions through organizations like Party for Socialism and Liberation, and street-level chaos that serves Chinese strategic interests. Foreign powers weaponizing American activists isn't conspiracy theory, it's documented reality. And the Federal Reserve's continued defiance under Jerome Powell demonstrates institutional rebellion against Democrat mandates. Yes, their rate pause directly contradicts Trump's economic agenda, using monetary policy as political warfare, while American families suffer housing market consequences. And unelected technocrats protecting their authority over voter preferences represents everything wrong with our current system. And finally, Trump's Iowa performance showcased peak political effectiveness, celebrating federal workforce reductions while highlighting private sector job creation and exposing ABC's bias with surgical precision. His handling of hostile reporters while advancing his message proves this president operates at levels his opponents can't match. So each story reveals the same fundamental conflict: authentic leadership confronting entrenched power structures that profit from chaos and confusion. Whether it's staged incidents, bureaucratic resistance, foreign influence operations, or media manipulation, the establishment deploys every available weapon against democratic accountability. Remember, in our opening, a reference to January 28, 1967, the Apollo 1 tragedy exposed NASA's systematic failures hidden beneath bureaucratic assurances. Today's investigations reveal identical patterns, official narratives crumbling under genuine scrutiny. Transparency demands threatening comfortable lies, and accountability forcing institutional change. The difference is simple: authentic journalism versus manufactured narrative. We follow the evidence regardless of political convenience. So while establishment media protects determined conclusions, we continue. So thanks to everyone supporting through Super Chat and Rumble Rants tonight. Your contributions keep independent journalism alive. And don't forget to grab your gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. The truth survives when enough Americans demand it over comfortable deception. Tonight's Raw feed proved that our republic works when citizens ask uncomfortable questions about comfortable assumptions. Grant, do you have anything to add before we close?
No, boss. That was the full picture. Clear, direct, and on message. The truth is out there, and we're the ones bringing it. Back to you.
I'm Gary Franchi. This has been the Raw feed. Stay free.
Back to you, Gary. Stay free.